Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a makeup tutorial. So I did this makeup tutorial thinking with Christmas around the corner, this is something that would really suit a Christmas look because of the glitter pigment that I used on my lids. It's sort of like this olive green gold sort of color, so I thought, oh, that would be great for Christmas. But I also have another Christmas look in mind that I want to do, which is more green and festive, so I'll probably do that as well before Christmas. I also want to mention that I do have a blog as well now that I've created a few days ago. So I just put things on there like favorites of mine or any stories that I have to share as a mum. I've only done one post so far, which was about native deodorant, which I mentioned in my last video. So I did a post on that, but I do plan on posting on there maybe once a week, like a story time type thing or a favorite thing that I find that I like, whether it's mum related or beauty related or household related, so I plan to post on there as well. I linked the blog link down below. If you like my channel or you like my videos, please click subscribe and click the bell to be notified of any future uploads as well. Let's go ahead and start with a makeup tutorial. Enjoy! Foundations that I'm using today are the Estee Lauder Doublewear. This is shade Sand. It's actually a bit too light for me right now because I do have a bit of a tan, so I'm going to match it out with the L'Oreal True Match. Estee Lauder foundation is beautiful. It's very full coverage. It's mattifying. This is the foundation that I used on my wedding day and it looked amazing in pictures and it looks really nice in person as well. I'm looking over this way because this is where my mirror is of the True Match, and put that on as well. I'm using the Morphe sponge. I'm using the flat side to blend this all in. Even if it looks like I've put on a lot of foundation now, the sponge is going to soak up quite a bit of it. So you can see the more that I'm rubbing it in, the more that I'm blending it in, the more natural it looks. And my skin is actually improving a lot. I've noticed a big difference already. I've only been doing this new skincare routine for a week. So if you guys watched my last video, I mentioned how I'm having some skin issues like textures and breakouts and stuff. So I have been using some new skincare stuff and it's really made such a big difference. For concealer, I'm using the e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealer in the shade Light Sand. This is also really full coverage, so putting it in all the usual areas to conceal and highlight. I'm going to blend it out with the same sponge, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to spray my sponge before I blend it out with the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. This is amazing. My mum actually bought it for me, so yeah, she spoils me. I'm going to dampen, I'm going to use the flat side first, so I'm going to spray like 3 sprays on there and then blend it out. Using the skin mist, when I'm blending this out, I just feel like it helps the concealer set at the same time, as well as just making it look more natural because you're spraying it. Because concealer sometimes can be quite drying, like the more full coverage concealers especially, I find like the formula's a bit drier. Skin mist, you can even use Max Fix Plus, that works great as well. Now I'm just going to spray the pointy side, because I'm going to be using this side for under my eyes. Even though I do have oily combination skin, I still like to use dewy products as well as mattifying ones and just layering them. So I'll still use like a mattifying powder to set everything, but doing all these steps just makes it more natural looking. It doesn't look cakey and it doesn't even feel like you're wearing a ton of makeup. You always make sure to get it by the sides of the temples as well, because otherwise you're going to notice that huge discoloration. Now I barely have anything left on the sponge. I'm just going around the rest of my face and making sure that everything is blended. I set my under eyes first with the Makeup Revolution Coconut Baking Powder. I use the JH07 for this. So I'm going to start by setting my under eyes and then the eyelids as well, because if I don't do this right away I will have creasing. For the rest of my face I'm using the Maybelline Matte and Poreless Fit Me powder in shade Classic Ivory 120, using the same brush, and I'm just setting everything else. I'm going to go ahead and do my bronzer. I'm using the Australis Sweet Like Chocolate scented bronzer, and I'm using the JH05 brush. So I'm going to start on my forehead. And then on the cheekbones as well. Contour my chin and jawline. So now I'm going to bake. I'm using the same Makeup Revolution baking powder. And I'm going to start at my jawline. I'm also going to put a little bit of it right in between my forehead. So I'm also going to do my nose contour with the same bronzer, and this is the JH33. So I do this before I bake my nose, obviously. Go up and down first, and then I go like little circles like this to blend on the sides of the nose. It looks really crazy right now. To bake my nose, I'm using the same powder and the JH10, which is a little angled brush. So I go right down the center of my nose. So I do a line like that, and then the side. I make sure to get right in there as well, because for me, I have, like I said, oily skin, and my nose always gets oily. I'm going to be working out of this palette, which I mentioned before. This is a Z palette that I'm created, so I bought all the single shadows. These are either Coloupop or Makeupgeek shadows. I'm going to use this one first, which is the Coloupop Wake Up Kohl, I believe. I'll have all the names and stuff listed down below, and I'm using the JH30 brush, which is a huge blending brush. I always start off with this brush, so I'm going to put this in the transition area. So I'm going back and forth, and move my eyeballs like from left to right as I'm doing it, so I can make sure that I'm getting into every little crevice. I'm just going in the transition area again. I'm using Makeupgeek Frappe, which is a little bit more of a deeper brown, kind of like a medium toned brown. And I'm using the JH31 brush. I hardly have anything left of this color. So I'm going to put this just in the crease and on the outer corner as well. So I'm bringing it all the way in. I'm not just staying in the outer corner. So initially I'm just going back and forth like this, and then I go in little round circular motions from inner to outer corner. Thing on the other eye, starting at the crease, bringing it on the outer corner, all the way in. So I'm going back in with that initial blending brush, just buffing everything out. I do this each step of the way, no matter what eye look I'm doing. Then I'm going to go in with an even smaller blending brush. This is the JH36, and I'm going to use Makeupgeek Cocoa Bear. And I'm literally going to do exactly what I did with the Frappe. So I'm putting it on the outer corner, and then in the crease all the way from inner to outer corner. So exact same method, just a deeper color. So you've gone from a light brown to medium brown to a more reddish tone, darker brown. And like I said, I go back with that initial blending brush and buff over all the edges. This brush is honestly so essential when it comes to blending your eyeshadow. It's like a little magic eraser wand. This is the fun part. This is the glitter pigment that we're going to be using. It's actually not a glitter pigment, it's just a pigment, but as much of like a fine loose powder pigment like the other Makeupgeek pigments. These are a little bit more like you need to use a glitter glue with this in order for it to really be prominent, rather than using like Fix Plus, which you would normally use with the other normal pigments, or even using your finger. So this one you have to use a glitter glue. So it is Makeupgeek Utopia, like that. It looks super scary right now, but it actually is one of the most unique eyeshadow things I have ever come across. I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution glitter glue. So like I said, this is a must. You have to use a glitter glue. Using your finger or Fix Plus is not going to work the best for this particular product. I'm just going to take a little bit of the glitter glue and put this all over my lid. Sure that I'm really concentrating it on my lid all the way from inner to outer corner. I'm going to let that become a little bit tacky, but you want to work one eye at a time. Up the JH42 brush now, which is still tacky, which is exactly what you want. And then I'm literally just going to pat this on. So you can see what a pretty color that is. It's the same thing on the other eye. I'm just patting the glue on. You will get a little bit of fallout, that's fine. You can just wipe it away because you've already set the eyes, the under eye area, so you can just wipe it away. It's going to dust away the under eyes just in case we had any fallout there. This part is optional, but I do want to deepen up the outer corner just a little bit. So I'm going to use the JH37 brush. And I'm going to take this grey shade here. I know it's a Coloupop shade in, oh, it doesn't have a name, it just says Matte 03. So I'm just going to do grey. And this is set, by the way, the pigment and the glue. So if I went in when it wasn't set, it would be a disaster. Once it's set and dry, then you can do this step. You can even do this sometimes, like I do it before I do the pigment. You can do that as well. But I'm not going in the crease with this. I'm just staying on the lid on the outer corner. I'm going to go back with the JH34 brush, and I'm going to go in the crease with this just to blend it out even more. For my brow bone highlight, I'm going to use the Colourpop Let Me Explain. It's just a really nice champagne, like vanilla highlight. I'm going to put this just on the brow bone and then going up. Now for my eyeliner, I'm going to use the Maybelline Blackest Black gel liner with the brush that it comes with. I'm going to skip this part because it does take a while. So while I'm waiting for my lash glue to dry, I'm just going to use the NYX Wet the Hype mascara just to put a thin coat of that on before I put on the falsies. So the lashes I'm using today are the brand Kiss. The style is Pixie 2. So squeezing my natural lashes with the fake ones. So for the lower lash line, I'm going to use that grey Colourpop eyeshadow again with the JH43 flat definer brush. So I'm going to tight line my lower lash line first. So I'm just getting this as close to my lash line. I'm going to use the MAC Definitely Black Kohl liner to line my waterline. The same flat definer brush with nothing else on it and just buffing these all together. Take a little bit of Cocoa Bear on the JH38 little pencil brush, and I'm just going to smudge this just at the very lower lash line back and forth. A little bit of highlight to my inner corner using the same shadow that I used on my brow bone. I'm just wiping away the bake now and just using the JH foundation brush to buff this into the skin instead of just wiping it away. I watched that on one of Jacqueline's recent videos. She did that and I just thought it was a really nice tip actually. Rather than just wiping it away, you're actually blending it into the skin. For blush, I'm going to be using MAC Margin. I've used this for a long time now. It's one of the best colors. I always find, like, if I'm doing a more dramatic eye, this is one of those go-to blushes because it's not too rosy and it just adds a nice sheen as well. Maryloumanizer by The Balm. Everyone loves this highlighter and it used to be a long time favorite of mine, and then I stopped using it, and now that I've gone back to it, I'm thinking, why did I ever stop? So I'm just going to put this on the cheekbones and on the apples as well, a bit right above the brows there. And then I'm using the same NYX mascara to do my lower lashes. This is a Makeup Revolution lip gloss. It's called Cancer. My star sign is Cancer. I bought this a while ago And it's just a really nice nude shade. To set everything, I'm using the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist, but you do want to cover your eyes when you're doing this. So I do my forehead with my eyes like covered like this, and then I do the rest of my face. So that's the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I might do a New Year's makeup tutorial as well. These looks don't have to be only for Christmas or New Year's, but I geared it towards Christmas and New Year's because that's what's right around the corner. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
The snow is falling down. I've been longing for this Christmas, when everyone's around to share this holiday. Yes, it's a time of happiness, a time of joy, but now this year is twice as special 'cause I'm hoping